Thank you, Olha. Thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak about digital transformation because it seems like the Ministry of Digital
Самоврядуванням.
Development, which
Питання
is
тут
responsible for local self-government, transformation is not very important for us. No, we have some projects on digital transformation, and the most important for us is about giving powers to local governments on architecture control, just to prevent corruption in the field
фактично простору.
of building, planning, architectural. There are several projects related in our ministry, and we cooperate with the different ministries, and like how to develop a cadastre, united cadastre, and we wanted to put together all the cadastres. We wanted to have just one digital cadastre, and then we can see the whole picture. Which are the conditions in different cities, and what decisions are they take on the local government level, and where they have illegal building or constructions, and so we can come to transparent planning through Ukraine, and it doesn't matter what kind of a community that is. It could be from a small village or to a big city like Kiev. The second important project and in the ministry is electronic system of city building. So different conditions, different limitations as to construction. It should be transparent without interference of public servants, and so there's a project of register, address register, and integration with municipal registers. And on one hand, that's an important project for local self-governance because it creates a fiscal base, a tax base to collect taxes from real estate, and those taxes will go to local budgets. And here it's important to have a legal component, to pay attention to a legal component, because one register will prevent different tricks with property. So it's a very important project. Also, there's a full audit of the infrastructure in all local self-governance, so that's very important for us, and that would allow us to be efficient in planning our budget policy and to calculate the needs of funding the infrastructure for the next period. We are done with administrative research. We have 1,400 digital communities, amalgamated communities, and may as well added. And when we speak about rebuilding the infrastructure and providing public services like education, different administrative processes, and other important social services in communities, such an electronic system of real estate and information cards will allow us to plan the budget policy better. How much is needed for the structure to provide equality and accessibility of public services to the population? One important issue for us is a digital project, and how public money is spent, and investment in digital economy, regional infrastructure, through different funds like regional development funds and through other budget programs. In the ministry, and there is a fund of regional development. It's about 9 billion for the next year, and then it will be bigger. And for that money to be spent efficiently to the purpose, it's important to have an instrument. I mean, a digital system of project management. How to use that money from that fund of regional development. And there will be a portal, and there will be key modules, and there will be a transparent system to select projects, assess projects, and there will be all the protocols, results of the vote on digital commissions and assessment of projects. So it will prevent interference. Political interference or personal interference in when we select projects that will be supported from the national budget. And also there will be transparency as to the projects and what kind of permits will be provided, how it will be introduced, put into practice, etc. So key issues in such projects. That's an important instrument for us on the level of the government and local self-government. It is important to involve citizens to decide on priorities, which programs should be funded. So we think about how to reform the public budget. There's a separate fund for the projects that will be voted by in territorial communities. And there will be a system of selection of those projects. And that is also an important program for us. And it will be implemented in local self-governance. There are some projects around municipal budgets. The register of real estate, that is a key issue for us. We are working with the Ministry of Finances and with the Tax Committee to integrate municipal registers of real estate, and they should be integrated into the national register. And we need to think how to collect that property tax and how that can be collected and how it will go to local budgets. That's one important project, one more. As to digitalization, because of the end of the administrative reform and the reform of local self-governance, there are two key registers. One of them is like the register of all territorial communities, and we needed to have them in one register, and the territorial communities on the district level, regional level. The register is not efficient for them. It is done by the Parliament of Ukraine. That's why we change there are some amendments, and now the Ministry of Regional Development will be responsible for that. And so it will be a key project which is important for local self-governance. And one more register, which is planned to be created. It's a united register of decisions of local self-governance. So it's because of the reform of powers of governments and as to legal or supervision over decisions of local self-governance. And for that tool to be, for that instrument to be efficient, we need to introduce the register of decisions of local self-governance when there is no need to send and to receive documents from one place to the other. And to do the legal analysis. Everything should be automated. It should be in one register. There's the session of the local council, for example, all the decisions that were taken. They will be put into that register of local self-government, and there will be no need to publish them somewhere on websites of local self-governance, because many communities don't have their websites, and so they don't publish. They don't make public their decisions. And so, but if we have such a register, so all local self-governments will have access to it, and automatically they will make public their decisions in that register of local self-governance. So those are key directions, key programs within our ministry related to digital transformation. There are some systems like big construction program, like lots of facilities in 2020. It's hundreds of facilities, hundreds of schools and kindergartens and sport infrastructure. In 2021, the program will continue, but the program will have some regional development projects and economic growth of the regions, and how to improve the quality of services and life, etc., etc. So, efficient instrument to implement that program is important for us. Thank you, Ivan. Key projects as to our field in the ministry. Thank you, Ivan. Thank you, Ivan, for a very broad presentation. I can say, wow. So you have lots of tasks in your ministry. I have a very short question. As far as I know, there's a problem of registers of residents of territorial communities, and that's a basic need to decide, for example, how many people live in a territorial community, to calculate services which should be provided to them. Do you have an example of successful community which has a very good register of local residents, and also for others to learn from them? The best. Kyiv is the best in this sense. It is related to the fact that Kyiv administration, they set up their own register, and for 3 years they were working on that. And we can say that Kyiv has, in Kyiv, there is a clear picture how many people live in Kyiv. In Lviv also, they have their own municipal register, but the key problem is that they are not integrated with the state democratic register, national register. They use that data only on the level of the city, not on the level of the country. So we are working with the Ministry of Digital Transformation on
Величезна кількість даних.
recharging the statistics department, because they collected a lot of data which is not used. We would like to change the approach to it, and we would like everything there to be digital, and for key data to monitor development of the territories, for example, to take objective decisions. So and to use the data, we would like everything there to be digital, and we would like to have access to municipal statistics, and we should not register, for example, milk products or dairy projects in some regions. This is not very important for us. And still, they collect that information on regional level, and they provide it to the government, but it is not used on the national level. So we should reduce the number of data collected, and we should just set on the priority and what they should collect, and so what is important for us in the next year.